this because I'm kind of really bothered by um, what I saw with the Golden State Warriors, or should I say, basically everybody except Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, he didn't play good, but I want to talk about, in particularly, Draymond Green. And I'm just gonna say this: Draymond Green acted like a op throughout this series, and even when the game was over, the way he embraced LeBron, like he was happy for LeBron, celebrating that LeBron going to the, he was just a little too happy. Whether he cool with LeBron or not, still you playing against LeBron, man, and you should be more worried about your team instead of the team LeBron plays on. You are a player for the Golden State Warriors, not the Los Angeles Lakers. And it just seemed like Draymond Green was a little too happy. And, at the end of the day, to me, Draymond Green played a pivotal role in costing the Warriors a chance to repeat, because I just think he threw out the whole chemistry when that video went viral of him punching Jordan Poole's lights out. And then getting to Jordan Poole was terrible too. Jordan Poole got paid $140 million. He got $140 million extension, and he paid, and he played like he was getting paid $140. Okay. He stunk up the joint, and that's just the bottom line. But at the end of the day, I just think that he just couldn't bear to play with Draymond Green, a guy who basically punched his lights out. And everybody saw it. And then, not to mention, you hearing other things about Jordan Poole, trying to be a playboy. And they say he easily distracted by pretty women and all that stuff. And from him, trying to shoot his shot at Zendaya and a few other people. So you just hearing a lot of different things about Jordan Poole. Now, I'm just saying these are things that are floating out there. These are rumors that are floating out there about him. Not saying that they are true, but these are some things you've been hearing, that he can be sidetracked and he need to get his head in the game, because at the end of the day, the Golden State Warriors are paying him good money. But as I said before, I just feel like the chemistry was just thrown off. If you look at the Golden State Warriors, were god awful on the road. They were god awful on the road. They didn't try to correct their, road rules. Woes, as they say. Excuse me, woes. I'm getting a little sleepy, but yeah, they didn't correct some of their issues. Or should I say, they didn't correct a lot of their issues on the road. They were just god awful, and that's just the bottom line. It's just no way you can get around it. They were trash. They were trash. They were god awful on the road, and that's just not how a defending champion plays. So, like I said before, I just really think that the chemistry was thrown off. And then you just look at some of the other stuff that went on. Some of the stuff that was going on with Steve Kerr and James Wiseman, how he didn't want James Wiseman there. And they finally traded him. And now this is an Achilles heel for the Warriors. It didn't work this year, where the Warriors relied basically on running and gunning for the most part, because this time they ran into a physical, bigger Laker team. And it was nothing they could do this time. So what do the Warriors do in the offseason? The Warriors need to trade for some size, bring in bigger guys, tighten up their defense. Like I said before, I just don't think Steve Kerr is a good coach. I do not think he's that good of a coach. I think he's a opportunist. He walked into a good situation and capitalized off of it. But when it was really time to coach, and this was one of these series where he could have proved how good of a coach he was, and he failed miserably. I mean, he got out coached by the Urban Ham. He got, openly and severely outcoached. So that says a lot about him. And I'm sorry, that's just fact. Says a lot about him as a coach. So now what do the Warriors do in the offseason? I say this again. They have to trade Draymond Green. They have to trade Draymond Green. He cannot come back in the Golden State Warriors uniform. And I think Stephen Curry played a role in him not being traded. Because I know he likes playing with Draymond Green. But you got to think about the team as a whole, and you got to think about winning as a team. And I just think the Draymond Green thing is over with. The ship has docked. It docked for a while, had a good, a good residency, but now it's sailing back out into the sea. It's time for the Warriors to move on from Draymond Green. See what they can get for him. I'm thinking one particular player, but I think they'll want a small fortune for him. And that's the problem. That is a real problem. I ain't gonna say who this player is, but I'm gonna say it in a separate video. But you just look at the Warriors. They had a lot of issues. They had, substitution issues. They had rebounding issues. They had personnel issues. They had all that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, they got lucky by even getting to the second round. So, based off how they played this season, to me, you could say their season. You can't make excuses for the Warriors. I was gonna try to make excuses, but no, their season is disappointing. They're the defending NBA champions, and they got sent home. They got sent home, and then in the closeout game, they got blew out. To be honest with you, for the most part, the game wasn't even competitive. You just gotta tell the truth. The game wasn't even really competitive. Lakers seized control of that game basically by halftime. And you knew it was coming, and you knew the Warriors wasn't going to be able to get back in that game. And then basically you had to endure the agony as a Golden State Warrior fan of seeing them get ran out of the gym and get beat decisively. They got beat decisively. At the end of the day, the Warriors, based off how they played, they were lucky to win 2 games in this series. And you just gotta be realistic. They were lucky to even win 2 games. So like I said before, it's a very disappointing season for the Golden State Warriors. As far as the Lakers go, them versus Denver, I'm going to talk about that series maybe later on today, but that video will get did today. And I'm also going to talk about the Miami Heat. More so Jimmy Buckets, because that dude deserved his props. He really deserved to get the props that he hasn't, unfortunately, been able to get due to the fact of the era who he played basketball with, the era he played ball in. So we'll talk about that later on. But the Warriors, they have to shop Draymond Green. He just cannot come back in a Golden State Warriors uniform. It's just not good for the team. It's just it's ran its course with him. They have to find somewhere for Draymond Green to go. He cannot come back. Now, once again, who do the Warriors give up? I didn't want to say this. Look, Stephen Curry ain't going nowhere. More than likely, Klay Thompson isn't going anywhere, and Wiggins. But Draymond Green, Poole, the problem is Poole, he's early into that contract, so it'll be hard to get rid of him. I would consider Klay Thompson as worst came to worst, but I would try not to make him available in the trade package. But everybody is open except Wiggins is staying. Wiggins is staying due to the fact that he's only 27 with 28. Peyton Jr. Peyton II, interesting. It's, to me, everybody would be available. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Everybody's available except Stephen Curry. I'm sorry, I have to even say Klay Thompson. Everybody's available except Stephen Curry. That's just how I feel. But anyway, appreciate you guys tapping in. I'm out.